Hey, here we are today. We're going to do a little dog training, have a good time. You know, God made dogs for our enjoyment, I believe. Don't you, Chief? I'm sure you did. You know, the people say that dog is man's best friend. And you know, they say the proof of the pudding's in the eating. And one way you could prove that is you put your wife and your dog both in the trunk for a couple hours, come back and open the trunk. Which one's going to be glad to see you? I bet it's the dog. Anyway, today we're going to have a great time. We're going to show you some things, how to train these guys to get to do some things that maybe you didn't even think was possible. Maybe you're not a dog person or you don't even like it, it'll still be fun to watch. And you can see, you know, a lot of times people say, man, you make these dogs get in the water. They love the water, they're water dogs. They enjoy it. So today we're going to have a good time, isn't that right, Chief? So we'll be right back. Chief, let's go get set up, buddy. Set. Hey, today we're doing some dog work. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. It's hot out. I mean, it's Tarzan hot. It's been so hot lately. We're going to throw a mark on this point. He's going to go get it. And then we're going to come back and we're going to run a blind. Now remember, we've been through this before, but a mark is a bird they see. They see it, and it's just what God gave them. It's God-given ability that they go get it. So he's going to use the natural ability he has to go pick that bird up. Then when he comes back, now I'm going to line him up. He's going to have to go past where he just was and pick up a bird that he did not see. It's a blind. It was blind to him. He never saw it go down. You know, it's the same way in life. God's given you natural abilities or things that you can do, and it's easy for you to do. The Bible says that when we're weak, He's strong. So there's certain things that we can do on our own. There's certain abilities that we have that God gave us. And then there's some things that, you know what, it's kind of tough. Life can get tough sometimes. But God's given us a way to hear from Him so He directs us where we're supposed to go. So the whole thing's set up so this dog's going to want to go back to where he just was. His training should tell him he's got to rely on me. He's got to listen to me. I've got a whistle, and when I blow that whistle, he's supposed to stop and look at me. And he's supposed to take my direction wherever I cast him. It's the same way in life. You know, God put His Spirit on the inside of us. When you're going a certain direction, it's not bad. He just blows a whistle and says, hey, 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 wait for me. And He'll direct you where you're supposed to go. So we got this all set up. I got Jake out there, my son, the greatest bird boy in the world. But anyway, he's going to throw this mark out on this point. He's going to get the dog's attention. He's going to stay out there while we set this up, or when the dog runs the blind, which makes it a little bit tougher because there's somebody standing there, and it's all what we call suction. That dog's going to want to go back to where he was. So anyway, oh, sorry, boss. These guys are trained to do this. They love to do this. It's hot out. It's in the water. This time of year, it's tough a lot of times to get a lot of work done because it's so hot, so humid. So water works the best. If you can find shade like we've got today, it works the best also. It keeps them a little bit cooler. We've got Chief over here in the bucket. And what we're doing with this is he's honoring. That means that he watches this dog work and he can't get out of the bucket. He likes to get out of the bucket, so he's trying. Sit down, Chief. But we're trying to make everything black and white. This is where they go. This is where they're supposed to be. This is their job. This is their responsibility. All right, I've got this healing stick. I've got him on a platform. And we got Chief in the bucket. One on a platform, one in a bucket. So we're getting it already set up. I've got this healing stick as a gentle reminder. We're making everything very clear, very black and white, what we want to do. He's on this stand. His rear end has to stay there. He can't get up, he can't move around, he can't jump around. So this is all controlled. If he's moving around, if he's allowed to do whatever, he won't see that bird down correctly. It won't work like it's supposed to. Even though he's got all this ability, he won't be able to use it the way he's supposed to because there's no discipline to it. It's kind of the same thing in our life. You know, I mean, a lot of times we look at discipline as a bad word, but really all it is teaching. It means to make a disciple. It means to learn something. And so if you've got some discipline in your life, sometimes our life gets chaotic because we're just going everywhere. And even though we've got all this natural ability on the inside of us, we can't use it the way we're supposed to, just for the simple fact that our life is chaotic. So sometimes there has to be some kind of structure. It actually makes it a lot easier. These guys love it. You know, you'd think they wouldn't, but they do. After they understand their job, they enjoy it. It's the same thing with us. Once we understand it, what discipline is, it's not that hard. So we've got all this set up. You bored, bro? Eating grass? Come on, here. He's going to throw the mark out there. I'm going to put this as a gentle reminder that he has to stay there. Here, here, sit, good. Mark, mark. Rip. Notice he had to sit there the whole time till I said his name. Once I said his name, he could go. So he's sitting there. Again, this mark is no big deal. It's not hard, it's not difficult. It's a cheating mark, meaning that he could go to the bank and run around. And a lot of people that duck hunt want to know, why don't you let them run around the bank? Because they lose their mark when they do that. He's supposed to take a straight line to the bird, straight line back. He has to respect the water. So he's respecting the water. He's doing a great job. He's had a good line, keeping right where he's supposed to be. And hopefully he stays in the way he is. Come on, big man. Good, good, good dog. So he did everything he was supposed to do. Took the water, didn't cheat the bank. And a lot of times when they get out and they want to run the bank, and I know if you guys out there that are duck hunters, you think, well, I want them to get to the bird as fast as I can. But they'll lose where that is. Now they spent more time looking for it than they did swimming in the water. So we want him taking that water. We want him respecting that water. He's respecting it on the way back, that he knows his place, and that's what he's supposed to do. So a lot of times in life, we look at this is our quickest way there. But the quickest way there, you may lose your way. It may not be the best way. You don't keep your eye on your goal or your prize. You start getting, distracted by everything else that goes on. It's easy to do. Man, when God says things in His Word, He's just doing things to make it the best for you. Not the hardest, but the easiest and the best. So when we do this with this dog, good dog, we're just doing it to make it the easiest and the best for him. So he can get his prize, which is the bird. Sit. Good. Leave it. Shake. You are outstanding. Good. Here. Now we're going to run it on him. Sit. Good. We're going to run a blind retrieve, meaning there's a bird out there that he did not see go down. And he's going to have to run past where this old fall was. He's going to have to go past this point. Rip. Line. Good. 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 But now notice I sent him on back, not his name. Back means that you're going, I send you a mark, we send them on their name. Let's see if his training kicks in or if the dog kicks in. Because the dog's going to want to go back to where he just picked up the bird. There's a guy in a white shirt out there. I mean, the whole deal. Ooh, he's doing good. Look at that. That is outstanding. So he's taken, he knows, he's been trained. He knows, listen, I just picked a bird up there. I am not supposed to go back there. I'm not supposed to touch land. And so he's going to maybe even go a little fat, and that's okay. I want that. Fat just means not that he's overweight. It just means that he's going to avoid the land right there. Now I've got a bird out there off of this other point way out there. Now we do a lot of this, we teach a lot of this in marks also, 2 down the shore, meaning he'll pick up a short bird and then go for a long one. He's going to go out to sea a little bit. I'll have to cast him here in a second, but I'm going to wait till he gets past where he was. Although he may do pretty good. Give him a little bit more time. There's looking at me. Took a good cast, real good cast. Come on, big man. Ho, 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 ho. Come on, somebody. That's good right there. Again, we do a lot of this, and we haven't done this today. This is, this is unrehearsed, but he should be right on it. There it is. Good dog, good, good. So it's about 200 yards out there. Again, one cast, one whistle, one cast, and he did it. He got his prize, he's on the way back. That is outstanding. Now, getting back to us. When you've been through this situation enough, basically you've been trained, you've been taught by God that you don't want to go back to where you just were. You want to go somewhere else. A lot of times I hear people say, God will take you around the mountain until you figure it out. That's not true. God doesn't do that. We do that. We keep going around the thing till we find the exit. So it's not that God's putting you in a situation and say, well, you didn't pass, so here, let's do this again. It's that we put ourselves in the situation and keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. So when you get taught by God, listen, this isn't where I want you. This is where I want you. Yeah, you used your ability last time. Now this time, listen, you're going to have to go with me. You're going to have to trust me. Lean not on your own understanding. Put all your trust in God. God will never leave you or forsake you and never lead you astray. He's never thought anything bad or done anything bad to you. He's always set you up for success. We set this up. We teach this for success. If you want your dog to be successful, you have to make everything very clear. And what I found most of my life is religion made everything hard, made everything difficult, when God wasn't hard or difficult at all. God set me up to succeed. And His Word was very black and white and very easy to follow. There wasn't any question to it. So just like I got this guy in the bucket, he knows he's not supposed to get out. This one's on the stand. He knows he's not supposed to get off of that till I send him. All these things set us up for success. All these things set us up to win. So God says in His Word, what's a long swim? God set us up in His Word. I found that everything in the Bible is designed of things you can do, ways that you can succeed. Not what you can't do so much as what you can do. And when you focus on what you can do in God, what you can do in life, it's freedom. When you look at it as I can't do this and I can't do that, this and this, it's bondage. God didn't want you in bondage. God wants you free. Just like this dog, he had a good time. I promise you. He's going to come back, his tail's going to be, look at that. Woohoo! Good dog. What a dog. You are outstanding. Heel. Good. Good. Sit. Did you have fun? Huh? Leave it. Shake. Hey, shake. We'll be right back. God bless you.
The Tax Return Tango, happening now at Car Country. Go to carcountrycars.com, fill out the private credit application, click Submit.
Don't even bother if you have good credit.
We want the bad scores, the 400s, 500s, and 600s.
I have a 720 credit score.
Shh.
No.
4 locations, Bartlesville, Broken Arrow, Sepulpa, and Bixby. 24-hour credit approval at carcountrycars.com, where your tax return is your down payment.
Like I said, this dog enjoyed every part of that. There wasn't any part of this that he didn't like. I mean, he loved it. Even I know that people think, well, they'd rather just be rambunctious and go and have no discipline. But really they wouldn't. I mean, it sets him up to succeed. So he enjoys this whole deal. He can sit here all day. 2 things. He knows that he gets to go get something if he sits here. He's been taught that. If he's unruly, he doesn't really get to go get it. We put him back in the truck or something like that, so we don't let him get his prize. But he enjoys it. The other thing is, he just likes being next to me. These dogs are a great example of unconditional love. Because no matter what, they're a lot better than cats. I mean, you got a cat, he doesn't care. Dog cares. Come on, man. So he enjoys just being around me, around the house. They'll sit there. They always want to be next to you. Just sit next to you. We need to be the same way. God set it up. He designed you or made you to have fellowship with Him. What does that mean? That just means that He designed you to hang out with. Not to boss you around, not to make sure that you were doing all this stuff. He designed us, according to the Bible, He made us for fellowship. It means that God enjoys hanging out with you. He enjoys being with you. He enjoys everything about you. You say, well, you don't know me. No, you don't understand. God made you, and God enjoys you. Even if you don't know God, God's waiting to get to know you. He wants you to know Him, and He wants to enjoy the time you have together. So this dog, not only did he have a good time doing what he did, because that's what he's on earth for, basically, is to go pick stuff up. Isn't that right, big man? But it wasn't just that. He wants to do it and go get it, but he also likes being instructed, because it was me telling him what to do, because he likes me. There's a bond here. There's something that happens between you and him. Same thing. And when you give your life to God, it's not rules and regulations. It's somebody that's always there, that's at ever present time or ever present help in the time of need. He's always for you. He's never against you. You know, all my life, I spent thinking that God was against me, that God set it up to give me a hard time. When I found out the real God, it wasn't true. He set it up to hang out with me and love on me. Man, it's a great deal. You know, when we do this, and maybe in another show we'll go through and we'll figure out some things, or show you how to figure out and teach your dog to do some things that maybe you've never thought about. Again, you know, when he picked up the mark or the bird that he saw, that's all God-given. That's him and God. That's what God put in this dog. And that's all his ability, and that was his idea. And then whenever I instructed him, I sent him without him seeing anything, and he went. And then when I blew the whistle and he looked at me and I casted him, I told him where to go, where the prize was at. And he went after it. That was all my idea. So I had to teach him how to trust me. I had to teach him how to rely on me. And it was a very tedious, slow process, to where we'd start out in real small increments, how to, whenever I told him to go this way, that's where his prize was. And usually he saw it right there. It was already there. He saw me throw it over there, and then I'd cast him where I want him to go. I'd send him back to where it was. You know, God does the same thing with us. He's not going to walk out and run a 200-yard blind with you. It's going to start small. And some of the things you already know, some of the things you'd already see, He'll instruct you. It'll be easy. I've found that nothing in God is hard. I found that all of it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. We make it hard. We make it seem like it's a big deal, but it really isn't. So I want to encourage you that as you do this, or as you build a relationship with God, man, go, even if it starts small, even if it's a real small thing, let it grow into something huge. God bless you. We'll be right back. If you don't have a church and you're looking for a good church home, I want to invite you to come visit us. Life Demonstration Church. We're on 129th between 81st and 91st on the west side of the street. We meet on Sunday mornings from 9 to 10. We'd love to have you. I promise it won't be church like you've ever had it before. God bless you.
These words are what we do. We're unloading all new Nissan Altimas, the world's coolest gas-efficient midsize. Let us offer you cash for your vehicle and ride off in a Nelson Nissan Altima for as little as $189 a month and get 1,000 additional trade dollars with an Altima purchase. You know the song. Nelson Nissan, across from Bass Pro Shop in Broken Arrow, where Altimas are usually $199 or less.
All rise. Bad credit versus Auto World.
Be seated. Counselor?
Decline. Always decline because of bad credit.
Plaintiff?
But they don't make enough money.
Objection.
Sustained.
Can they at least have a job?
Objection.
Sustained. Bad credit happens to good people.
His name is Ryan.
He's not scary.
He's the credit cruncher from
Car Country.
He's not scary. He's a credit cruncher at Car Country.
You know, I always say this, but maybe you heard some things today that are contrary to what you've heard before. You know, God's not a mean God. He's not a God that's after you to put you in bondage. He's a God of freedom, and He's a good God. He's a God that's a lot of fun. Maybe you've never known that kind of God before. Man, I want to invite you to church. Maybe you don't have a home church, or maybe you go to church where they're telling you that He's mean. Come see me. We meet on Sunday mornings from 9 to 10:15. We even beat the Baptist to the buffet, man. And you're in and you're out. It's pretty quick, but it's a good, I promise you, you'll leave better or more encouraged than before you got there. And it's gonna happen, it's gonna be easy, it's not gonna be hard, it's not gonna be difficult. I wanna invite you, we're on 129th, between 81st and 91st, on the west side of the street. If you live in Broken Arrow, it's not 129th, it's Olive. And I don't know what they call the other ones, Houston and something. Anyway, it's between 81st and 91st on Olive on the west side of the street. We got a website, freeburden.com or lifedemonstration.com. Check us out. See a couple of clips of what we do here, and then some different times we have for different things that maybe you'd like to see, or maybe you'd like to be involved in with our church. Anyway, we want to invite you. If you've got a church, stay there, man. Enjoy it. Do what you can. If you've never been to church and you don't like the way it's been, I promise you it won't be church like you've had it before. It'll excite you. It'll give you a different perspective maybe than you've had on God before. And I promise you it won't interrupt your life, it'll enhance your life. It won't corrupt your life, it'll make it great. You'll have a good time. So I want to encourage you, come out and see us.
When you walk through these doors, we are humbled, honored.
Ready.
When you open these doors, or these, you will be thrilled.
Impressed.
Ready.
The doors are open. The offer stands.
Our approach never changes.
We'll make a believer out of you.
Those words say it all.
Nelson Mazda, 101st and Memorial. Our doors are open.
Hey, welcome back. You know, I bought Chief, about a year and a half, maybe not quite that long, about 15 months ago from a good friend of mine named Derek Randall at the Retriever Academy. And when I picked him up, he said, asked me what kind of dog food I was feeding, and I told him, and it's a good dog food, and I thought I had the very best of the best. That's why I fed what I fed. And after talking to him, he said, you really ought to look into this. You really ought to look into this RCAT. And I was like, dude, I'm pretty happy with what I got, and everything's good with the dog. But he said, just research it. That's all I ask you to do is just research it. And I did. I spent a long time. I spent a few months digging in and finding out all about it and all about what I was feeding and the thing between the two. And I found out that I wasn't feeding the very best of the best. Mine was just okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't everything that I needed. Had a lot of the good stuff in it, but it didn't have exactly what I needed. So I switched. After all the research I did, I switched. And the reason I did, these guys are athletes. He's panting hard. It's hot out here today and it's humid. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort. He went out a few times, well over 250 yards, big swims, big runs. He's got a big motor in him. So it takes a lot of stuff to keep these guys going like they're supposed to. If you hunt your dog hard, you need a good dog food. And you may say, well, I got old Trusty and I feed him, this stuff from just down the street at the department store. And I can't tell any difference. You may not tell any difference when he's a year old or 2 years old or 3 years old. When that dog hits 7 or 8 years old, you're gonna tell a big difference. These guys are athletes. If you hunt them hard, if you work them hard, they're taking a pounding on their body. So we're feeding this stuff, this VF formula by RCAT. It's got chondroitin, glucosamine, which is the stuff that's for their joints. It keeps them lubed up and running good, helps prevent injuries or things that can happen. As your dog gets older, you're really going to tell a difference of running that. Then it's also got omega-3 and omega-6 oil, what that does is for their coat. It's for their skin, it's for their coat. You won't see them shed as much. When it's real cold out and you're working them, it's real important how the stuff works and how it sheds water and how their coat is and how good their skin is. You've got 30% protein, 20% fat. And that's real important. And the fat content is real important because that's their energy. That's what they need. The protein's real important because it builds back muscle and all the stuff that goes with it. So you can have a baseball glove or shoe leather and it can have 30% protein. It's the kind of protein you got. And I found that this food had exactly what I needed. The fat also causes them, when it's really hot out, causes these dogs to run a little cooler. So everything that's in there, I want to give them the best of the best. I want to give this dog the benefit of they're great athletes, give them the option of all the nutrients they need and all the things that I can keep them running for a long time to come. Invest a lot of time in a dog. They're a family pet, something you hunt with. You enjoy them, you want them around as long as you can. And they don't last that long anyway. A lab, maybe 10, 12, 13 years, and that's it. You know, one time I asked God, how come they don't last any longer? He said, that's so you can enjoy more of them. Pretty good answer. So this is my, I don't know, I've had a million of these things, but this one's one of my favorites. You know, the same thing's true in the Bible. God says in his word in Proverbs chapter 4, he says, you know, guard your heart with all diligence. And before that he says, you know, incline your ear to my word. Don't let it depart from your sight. Keep it in there. Why? Because it's health to your flesh. Man, it's healing to your bones. And then he says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. That word issues there means fences or borders. So it's important how you guard your heart. It's important what you put in your mind. It's important what you think on or what you meditate on. It's important that you think on good things, that you meditate on good things, because if you don't, you cause fences or borders to be brought up in your life that don't need to be there. You know, when you worry, you're creating a fence or a border that doesn't really have to be there because it hadn't happened yet. It's not something that's going on right now. It's just simply something that you're dreaming up. So remember, it's important what you put in you. Just like it's important what I put in this dog and what I feed him. It's important what you put in your life, the people you hang out with, the places you go. It's important. It makes a difference. It'll make a difference to you. Man, I'm really glad that you tuned in today. I want to give you the opportunity to come to church. Maybe you go to a church or maybe you don't. Maybe the church you go to is preaching bondage. Man, I want to just give you the chance. If you've never been to church before, you say, man, I didn't like that. I fell asleep every time. We're on Sunday mornings from 9 to 10:15. It's just an hour and 15 minutes. We beat everybody to the buffet. We have a great time. We're on 129th Street between 81st and 91st. We'd love to have you. God bless you. May the good Lord take a liking to you. Thanks for coming. Hit it, Al.